What is up, LEGO fans? Cow60Bricks here, and today is Top 10 Thursday, and for that occasion we are going to be counting down my top 10 least wanted legacy remakes. Now, most people would do the opposite of this, their most wanted legacy remakes. I just wanted to be a bit original, so I'm going to try this out. So basically I'm going to be going through sets I think would be a waste of a slot for a legacy remake of an older set. I'm not going to be doing anything from the TV show because that's endless possibility. Like, you could just say anything. So only strictly remakes of sets, and I won't also be counting any spinner sets or anything that's not a normal set like a 3-in-1 or a polybag or anything like that. It's got to be a normal run-of-the-mill set. But without further ado, let's just get into this video with some honourable mentions. Now, in our honourable mention spot, we do have the spinner arena sets. Now, these aren't really normal sets, but at the same time they are, because you have to build them and everything. So I wasn't sure whether to include them, so I just put them here. And I don't think these deserve legacy remakes because they're just not that kind of set. I like them. I even had one myself back in the day, but definitely not that sort of set that you would make a legacy remake of. This is an incredibly unpopular opinion, but I actually think the Battle for Ninjago City should not be remade into Legacy, unlike everyone else. Now, the Overlord mech is quite significant and would be cool to see in Legacy form. However, not too important, because that was in a very, one of the most critical scenes of all of Ninjago, so I can see why people would want this. However, the actual temple itself played a very minor role and definitely not deserving of a Legacy remake, especially not that it would be that expensive as well. I would love to see any villain vehicle in Legacy. However, there are much better skulking vehicles such as the Skull Truck or the motorbike or even the helicopter, so this would be a bad choice. Now, I wouldn't be too upset if they did it. I'd still be happy that it's a villain vehicle. However, it would be a little bit of a waste as the other ones are much better. Considering we just got a coal bike for season 11, I don't think it would be a great idea to make the legacy of this, and it's also not that interesting. However, I wouldn't care too much if they did. That's why it's really here in number 8, so I don't really care. However, I think it wouldn't be the greatest choice. This one is by far going to be the most controversial on this list. So I just don't think Kai's Fire Mech needs a remake. To me, it was just incredibly forgettable. I don't think it was built that well, and I don't care about it at all. Now, the only reason it's like this high on the list and not, say, number 10 or number 9, because I don't really care about it, is because everyone else wants it so much, and I just don't. Kind of the same story here as with Knuckles ATV. I would love to see a villain vehicle remake, and the old one was absolutely terrible, so definitely needs an improvement. However, the actual bike itself I'm just not that interested in, so don't really care about it. And if they pick this over Garmatron, I would be very upset. On number 5, we have the Jungle Trap, and yeah, there isn't a chance they will ever remake this. It's not symbolizing anything particular, it's just a couple of pieces, a random set. Yeah, they're never going to remake this, and even if they did, wouldn't really mind, like some scenery, but yeah, they're never going to do it, and yeah. As with the Jungle Trap, this set is pretty much a polybag. However, I do feel a little bit more passionate, I suppose, about this one, as there have been very few Pilot Legacy sets, none in fact, technically. This would be a terrible waste of a slot. Ninja Ambush is only above Ninja Training Outpost because I think it's a much worse set. And yeah, I would just be really upset if this was the only Pilot's proper Legacy set that we had. For some really weird reason, I absolutely hate this set, and I don't know why. I like the Lloyd bike, but the main part of the set, the Overborg bike, I absolutely hate it. It wasn't even in the TV show. Why would you want a Legacy remake? Now, the Lloyd bike, I do like. They could just put that in a polybag. It definitely is way too small to have its own set. And the only reason that this Overborg bike set is not in number 1 is because it would probably give us the chance to get a proper Cyrus Borg minifigure without, him being evil. They would probably have to do that. Now, there's no saying they would. It could just be the evil version of him. But that's the only redeeming factor for it, that it probably would have a Cyrus Borg minifigure. Other than that, it would be in number 1. My least wanted Legacy remake of a set ever is, to be honest, I don't hate this set. In fact, I actually kind of like it. So you're probably incredibly confused on why it's in number 1. Well, there are just way too many J cars. So first of all, we have the 2020 Legacy Thunder Raider. Now, I know it's not exactly a J car, but it's close enough that you shouldn't really have two on the shelf at the same time. And in 2021, we are getting a car for Jay that looks nearly identical to this Season 5 one, just minus the cannon. So I think absolutely no, we should not get a legacy remake of this, because there'll be 3 on the shelf. Plus, it's not that memorable of a vehicle. If they're going to do a legacy of this, they've got to wait at least, in my opinion, 4 years, to be honest. So this is my number 1. If they make this, I think that's a terrible decision. Hope you enjoyed the video. That's all from me. Have a great... I almost forgot. If you don't like, subscribe, and share this with your friends, the buildable bat will be very upset.